my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You like my oxygen. Make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up. Break you in, then break you out. In the end, we're gonna make it.
Dionna, welcome back. Another episode of All Time High. We've got some really exciting things to talk about. American Express's participation in the crypto market. That's some big news. But later in the episode, we're going to talk about easy solutions to the problems that crypto are facing. And I know that you know how to solve the problems to help grow this space, right?
That's what we're here for, right, Jim? That's what we want to do. Get everybody
That is
in,
it. And
get them
right
educated.
now, we're looking at a 4 trillion market cap for the space. And we're looking at $115,000 Bitcoin. And there's continued conversation. Things are ebbs and flowing. The fear and greed index is exactly at 50. Dionna, do you feel like 50 is the right place for fear and greed to be right now?
I do. Okay. Although I feel like some people have more greed, than 50%, but I think 50% is fair.
Yes. And not financial advice. Do your own research. Your risk tolerance is not ours, but I'm telling everyone that part of the reason that the market continues to get wrecked is because people are buying call options and put options. It's like already in a volatile space. Arguably, it's volatile because the exchanges know what the calls are and what the puts are, and they're trying to wipe out both sides of the equation. It's taking us longer to get to where we want to go. And I'm not saying to buy and hodl. I'm saying to buy low and hodl. So find out where the lower range is for those call options. Get in at the low point, at the right point, and stick around. Stay a while. There'll be another episode with Dionna soon enough.
Of course. And if you're not sure what Jim's talking about, hit that like and subscribe button right down there, and then watch the rest of our videos because he goes into extensive detail to explain all that to you.
Yes, we find the alpha, we find the opportunities, and today we find, I wouldn't say early adopters, I would say late adopters. I'm going to share a screen here from an article about exactly what it is that American Express is doing. But I think that's a thumbnail worthy commentary about where this space is headed. I mean, why is American Express going to introduce blockchain-based travel stamps?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's interesting. Again, when we were talking about it, the first thing I thought of was GDPR, right? So in Europe, they have the right to erasure, which means you can't put any personal information anywhere on the blockchain. So how are you going to tie any type of passport stamp to? I mean, I guess you're going to tell me right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit, but it says that not all of it, but the travel stamps, which can be collected anytime a traveler uses their card, are not tradable, but they're punched basically on the blockchain, just like somebody stamps your passport. So it'll be tied to the city that you're in. It'll be tied to your account. And it's basically, as they say, a valueless ERC 721. So technically not an NFT, but we didn't just brand it as such.
Yeah. This reminds me of like back in 2017 when the phrase was just put it on the blockchain, and this feels like one of those things where it probably sounded good, but I don't understand the value to this at all. Like, it's a valueless NFT. So essentially it's like just a collector's thing. Where would you put it? How would you show it? Why do you have it? I don't understand the attraction to it.
No. You're letting the reality get in the way of a good story. See?
Oh, I'm sorry. How dare I?
You remember, I've been in corporate America a few years. I'm no longer, right? But at the time, it was like, wait a second. The management comes out, says we have a new strategic initiative. It seems like this administration wants to participate in blockchain activities. We need to get behind the blockchain. We don't want to put ourselves at risk. We want to do something that consumers will like, and we want to make sure that they know that we, the company, support the initiative. What better way to do it than do something that consumers like, that makes it seem like you're behind the initiative, but that absolutely has no consequence?
Yeah, I mean, look, crypto people tend to travel a lot, right? You got all the crypto bros with all that money now, and they're flying everywhere. So maybe people will find it interesting. I'd have to see it in practice. I don't know that.
There you are being funny again. Cause like they could go to a tax-free jurisdiction and established that they were maybe in Portugal or Puerto Rico or what other countries are allegedly. I don't know, not financial advice. Are there other countries that are good havens, safe havens for people that own crypto? I want the USA to be one more so than it is today.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a great idea if they had USA, speaking of great ideas, USA tokens were eligible for tax free? I mean, how much money would go pouring in?
It would be huge.
What are we waiting on?
I wouldn't be surprised if this administration does it, right? Because we know they're going to use this market to help wipe out some of our debt, and what better way to do it than to promote it in the US?
Yeah, wasn't there things like people bought war bonds? They weren't just bonds; they were war bonds. Why don't we just like help reduce the $37 trillion debt that we have by buying stable coins? We need a more stable economy. What do you think, Dionna? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's happening. It's going to happen. We're watching it.
It's unfolding right before your very eyes. All right. And what else is unfolding before our very eyes? I'm going to share the screen briefly, and then I'm going to have you walk us through it as we go step by step. But there's a company we want to give credit where credit is due, not credit like financial credit, but credit like sourcing. And Ubiquity came up with these. They called it the 4 easy customer solutions to key blockchain and crypto challenges. Okay, so I'm going to walk through portions of this article and get your feedback. And then let's see what we can come together on as far as where this space could go. Are you ready?
Already.
All right. Are you you're checking your notes? I think you got some notes.
I'm double checking. Yeah.
I
want to make sure. Yeah. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm trying to be prepared.
Yeah, no, this is good. I love it. The first issue that Ubiquity brings about is the idea that there's a lot of complexity early on for early adopters, people getting in the game. How do you tackle that adoption complexity?
So I'm honestly, it's just got to be ease of use. You know, the easier we can make it for people to get in and get out, the better it's going to be. And you don't have to overcomplicate it. You know, if you're just trying to get mainstream in, then make it to where, you know, like for example, Cash App, I don't know if Cash App is still, but Cash App was super easy to buy Bitcoin on. And I would be like, go buy it on Cash App, even though it didn't necessarily have the best rates. It was the easiest way to get people into it. So I think if you can kind of keep the complexity out of it and don't overcomplicate it and just stay focused on what that particular person needs to know and how to get them in quickly and efficiently, that's probably the best way in my opinion.
All right. And I'm going to break that down. Yes, sure, I'm saying yes. And what if just everything could happen on your phone? Like literally on your phone. And I think there's some risk in that, but right now, what are you not able to do on your phone? Literally. I think that list is becoming shorter and shorter every day. I can open my garage. I can change my sprinklers. I can do things with my refrigerator. Turn on washer and dryer. It's insane. I mean, I don't know. And so if it can transact one way, you ready? Apple Pay. Can you imagine the day they get into crypto?
Oh, it would be amazing. I can't wait. It's going to be soon. I mean, I don't know how soon, but it's coming.
And I love Tim Cook, so nothing against him, but he's more of a chief operating officer, right? The other guy, you know, was a visionary, Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
But you look at Tim Cook, and all of a sudden you say, wait a second, we're sitting on all this cash. The stablecoin legislation is allowing for the yield to be made. Why couldn't they do more in terms of the yield that they could get? They could. They just need to be able to do those kind of things online. So there's me in terms of how to tackle early adoption. What about, this is you. I'm not even going to comment on this one. Oh, Dionna. It says one of the challenges is to humanize decentralization. Like some people are afraid that the machines are running things like that. For me, it's an opportunity. For you, it's like, why wouldn't we? How do you strike the balance between somebody new to the space would rather talk to a bank teller?
Yeah, you know, it's I mean, that's a tricky one, right? Because again, I'm not comfortable putting my money anywhere where I can't talk to somebody, right? To me, that's a big. I mean, I don't necessarily have to walk into the bank teller to do it, and I do think a good chunk of us now don't want to talk to people as much as we used to, right? We don't go out and hang out with our neighbors anymore. It's like, God, I hope they don't see me. Like I'm running to my door. I think, education, again, making it easy. And then I think they have to see the effect. I think the more people see the effect of whatever the technology, the crypto, the AI, it erases the fear. And so through education, through experience, and through whatever they gain out of it, I think is how you get that humanization into it.
Okay, so I'm gonna play amateur psychologist for a second. I think a lot of the reason that people are attracted is to decentralization is because they know what they don't want. They don't want what they have, and that's with Amazon having too much control, with governments having too much control, with I don't know, Google can shut down YouTube accounts overnight. They can shut this down tomorrow if they want to. And what am I going to do? What can I say? I've agreed to the terms of service. It's where we reach the audience that we have. And so I'm like, well, wouldn't it be if I get shut down or if I get disenfranchised or if not me, but you or someone else has a TikTok account that they get taken away? Well, you want what you don't have. Yet you may not know who it is that you are. So are you sure you want decentralized setup, or you just don't know? You just don't like it that somebody took your toys away.
Yeah. We know though, but when this is your livelihood and okay, that was why I got out of the Army. I got out of the Army because I was too old and had done too much in my career to let certain people have that much power. And it's like knowing that somebody could flip a switch and wipe you out. That's uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to live that way. You don't want to be in the hands of that particular thing. You know what I mean? Like what if they have a bad day and they just don't like you? Or, what if your account gets banned and now you can't pay any your bills? Like people just don't like anything having that much power, and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. How do you convince people though that it's better to let the machines run things, I guess, is my question. Well,
again, they have to experience it. You have to show them the value in it. You have to get them to see, how is it going to improve their life and in what way does it make it better? And I have to do this with AI all the time to everybody. Everybody's so scared of it until I get in there and I show them. And then they're like, oh my God. And now almost every single person I know uses AI because I've taught them how to do it. So they just got to see the benefit.
You're much nicer than me. See, this is where you come in. I'm like, why don't you call me back after you spent 50 hours writing command prompts? Well, Jim, I don't have that much time. I just call guys like you. I go, no. That's how I got 50 people like you wanting to talk to me and telling them how this thing works. I'm like, I've got a channel. Go check it out. There's some good command prompts. Spend 50 hours and then I'll talk to you ad infinitum. But probably at that point, you won't need me. Well, again, that's why I'm calling you. Okay. Circular discussion. Moving on.
See, so our audience should feel lucky that you take the time to actually explain and teach them things.
No, I'm not a teacher. I'm not an educator. I am here to help things grow. So even within the ecosystem of the automotive advertising that I do, my purpose there is to help dealers connect with consumers and have a better experience. And so and maybe that's the answer to this particular issue is how does somebody have a better experience in a new environment? And you have to have some safeguards. You have to have AI. You get to have some people to talk to, and you get to build some trust. And trust is a loaded word in the USA today. We don't trust nobody, anybody. You get what I'm saying. Moving on to the next topic. Because you know where we are in the USA today?
Where we are as far as trust?
Society. Yeah.
We, I mean, in my opinion, you ever see like the dynasties, like the stages of a dynasty?
Okay. Yeah.
So the very last stage is decadence. And I feel like that's where we are.
Okay.
So if we don't get a hold of it quickly, I think we're going to implode from the inside. We don't have to worry about our adversaries. We'll just do it ourselves.
Yeah, you're talking about Ray Dalio's Principle of Nations. It's a wonderful book. You should check it out. Yeah.
Yes, agreed.
There's a lot of infighting going on. But as far as trust goes today, I believe we're not even considering it because we know that the other side is cheating. And that can be sports. It can be refs. It can be politics. It can be work. It can be countries. Somehow I want to evolve past the mistrust. But I don't know
Well,
how, but
the blockchain. What's the saying for blockchain? Trust, but verify.
immutable.
Right?
What's immutable trust to you? Do you know, you teach that, don't you?
Immutable trust. So immutable trust is knowing that when it's there, it's there. Like it's always
Forever.
there. It's never going to go out. Yeah, it's always there. Like if
Yeah.
most people and viewers at home, if you don't know this, everybody who has a Bitcoin wallet, you actually have every single transaction that's ever happened on Bitcoin, right? And that's how the more people who open wallets, the more people who have access to that information, the harder it is to manipulate that information for a multitude of reasons. That's where decentralization comes in. So you can trust that the network has recorded your transaction. It has been stamped. It is there. It will always be there. It will never go away. They're not going to know it's you because there's an identifier there that obfuscates your information, but you can trust it will be there and you can verify by seeing it on the blockchain.
Trust and verify. There you go. You're finding the solution to the problem that's in front of us. And let's move on to the third out of the 4 items that they point out. And it basically says, check the speedometer on growth, meaning that people are looking for overnight millionaire sensations. They want to play the lottery and win the lottery.
Yeah.
This is not that.
Yeah.
Like a holistic approach is going to help.
And not even just that, those people tend to not hold on to the money either because they don't have the habits, right? And the discipline that you would need to acquire that type of wealth or to grow that type of wealth. So once you have it, you don't know how to manage it. You lose it. So just because you become a millionaire doesn't mean you stay a millionaire. They are 2 different things.
No. And being patient with it's ironic that patient at the bottom is not historically, the history is not the future, but these blow off tops, they capitulate and come down. Yeah. They eventually go back up. So you're right. You need to be able to move in and out of an altcoin to a stablecoin, in and out of BTC into an altcoin, in and out of a stable coin into whatever it is you want to do. Know that you're going to pay taxes. That's part of the process. But yeah, controlled growth is something that we were able to learn a lot about at Toyota. Like it wasn't just getting the engine to run more smoothly. It was finding the tolerances. And if you got it down to a centimeter, it was like, okay, what about getting the tolerances down to a millimeter? Like the continuous improvement. So if you can find ways to continuously improve the financial system, the ecosystem, the transaction, the friction between the two. It still takes a long time to clear money through ACH with banks. If we can just cut that down from 72 hours to 24 hours down to 1 hour, down to seconds.
Yeah.
Not to mention any specific coin. All right, we're moving on to number 4. How do we deal with negative preconceptions? How do we fight the anti-crypto army? Senator?
I mean, you got to be honest up front and get ahead of it, right? Like, it's almost like, if you make a mistake and you go and admit it, or if something happens and you address it, it's usually better than if the person finds out and you didn't say anything. Then there's this mistrust, I guess you could say, that grows into it. And it was like, oh, you kind of hid this. But if you're upfront and you say this is, and you tell them and you explain to them, I think that's part of it.
All right. So you said be honest. Yes.
Yeah. Be honest.
So what if I wanted you to be radically honest? What would that mean to you? What's the difference between being honest and radically honest?
I mean, I think it depends on the situation, details.
Well,
maybe?
in blockchain, you're talking about people's money at some level, right? Because honesty, there's omission, there's lies through omissions. Like you don't say things sometimes. That's what a lot of people do. Like, but is radical honesty a way of helping people get to a better place? I mean, how do you do that?
Yeah. I mean, don't omit anything. Be honest. Say what you need to say. Make sure they understand the entire situation, right? Feels almost like a relationship at this point. Like, have a good relationship. Be honest.
It seems like a lot though, because historically we've kept, there's a lot of things you don't talk about. Growing up, I think people talk about them more now, but it was race, religion, right? And politics,
right?
And now, what do we talk about?
That's all we talk about.
But the last bastion has become money, really, that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's where things are going to go, but because of the radical transparency of a lot of these, everything is, as long, if you know the key, if you know someone's keys, you know their transactions.
Yeah.
That's me being radically honest with our audience to say, you may not actually want all your stuff out there. The way to do this might be through a bank or through Fidelity or some other fiduciary who can trade. Let me ask you this. Would FDIC insurance on crypto through banks change the game?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think you still have a lot of people where that's one of the big hiccups, right? And to me, that's the exciting part about JP Morgan doing a stablecoin on Ethereum, is the fact that, you know, now that insurance, that little safety
nobody's
blanket,
buying JP Morgan coin.
And the other thing though is most people don't realize that's a capped. It's only up to $250,000 per account or bank or whatever the stipulation is. Yeah. So don't think that just because you have $1 million in crypto, all of a sudden you have the insurance and the federal government is going to bail you out and back you up. But that little bit of a safety blanket does help people get over the risk of, what if I lost all my money?
Yeah. And that's a big one. And
it is.
That still exists in stocks. Like stocks are not FDIC insured. They're just not. You could lose all your money there too. So maybe it's that, oh wait, the stable coins. Maybe the stable coins are FDIC insured. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's do that. And then take away all the tax on all the USA coins. And now this thing starts going. So I think there's got to be a risk reward guarantee, because I know about risk reward, but there's got to be some like support mechanism to attract more people to get in the space. Like it isn't all the technology. You don't have to use technology to get in the space. You can actually use a fiduciary. You can use Robinhood. Now, OGs like you get a little sensitive there.
I do. I know. I was about to say, not your keys, not your crypto. I was just like, I just got to put it out there. This is not financial advice, but I'm telling you, if you don't have your keys, you don't really own your money.
Okay. And that's where I'm a little bit.
That's the one thing, right? And all the money, nobody owns the money that's in your bank account, on your debit card, and your credit card. Like, you don't have that. You don't own that. You're borrowing it. It's supposed to be yours, but they're holding it. You're borrowing it. You have to pay them to get it. The difference with crypto is it's supposed to be yours. It's supposed to be a person-to-person payment processing system where we don't need a third-party mediary. So they're kind of messing that up, but if it gets you in, it gets you in.
They are way messing that up. I mean, the governments are involved now. The banks are involved now. And see, I'm comfortable with that. Does that make it, I mean.
No, but it's the nature of the beast. You're not going to fight it. Like none of us, that was one thing at Bitcoin 2025 this year, was how much politicians were there, and all of us were like, this is totally the opposite of what crypto was supposed to be.
Why we started this in the first place. Yeah,
a little bit, but they got to get into everything, especially if it's good.
Yeah, and I think that's how you're going to get more people into the space, unfortunately. And so it's an interesting concept. It's a really important discussion, because it's either that or the big black rocks are going to play. They're going to tokenize everything, and these assets are going to trade online, offline, on-chain, off-chain, all day, all night, universal trading. It isn't going to shut down like the stock market does. It's going to be everywhere. All right, Dionna, she's got a call from the stock market. The stock market's about to close. She's got to get her trade in. We're right at the top of the hour. It's been another great episode.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dionna.
Bye.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my